Good evening. Welcome to the Black Conservative Voice with David Colbert here on the CTM News Network, the voice of truth. Democrat Representative Peterson, Representative Omar says Representative Omar does not belong in our party. Representative Ilhan Omar, a Democrat from Minnesota who registered a high-profile first term in Congress, doesn't belong in the party. Fellow Representative Colin Peterson, Democrat of Minnesota as well, told an employee with the National Republican Congressional Committee on Capitol Hill last Thursday. "I don't defend her," he says. "She doesn't belong in our party." Peterson told a man who asked him whether he had a comment as to why he defended Omar's controversial "some people did something" remarks about 9/11 in 2019. When asked to clarify himself, Peterson repeated, "She doesn't belong in our party." Peterson, a 16-term lawmaker, in TV interview last April, seemed to defend statements Omar made in 2019 about 9/11. "I think she was inartful in the way she said that," he said. "It caused a lot of controversy, but I don't know that she meant what some people had taken out of that. I think she was trying to say that some people in her community feel like they are being targeted. That's what she was trying to say, I think, but she has to deal with that, or deal with it." Omar at the time defended the meaning of "some people did something." So 9/11 was an attack on all Americans, she said, and told Margaret Brennan of CBS Face the Nation. "It was an attack on all of us, and I could certainly not understand the weight of the pain that victims of the family of 9/11 must feel. But I think it is really important for us that we are not forgetting the aftermath of what happened after 9/11. Many Americans found themselves now having their civil rights stripped from them," Omar continued. "So what I was speaking to was, as a Muslim, not only was I suffering as an American who was attacked on that day, but the next day I woke up as a fellow American were now treating me as suspect," she added. I can understand what she's talking about, but it would not be as difficult to accept for her as well if she did not come out of her mouth with the rhetoric that she was coming out with during that time, even in that interview. She has made even statements even since that time in regard that she believes that every American should come over to Islam. And they claim that she didn't say it, but you get these fact checks saying it didn't say it. I watched it when she said it. I couldn't believe what she said. She wants Christians to become Islamic also. She wants all of us to convert to Islam, pretty much. She wants to make this a Muslim nation. That's what her focus is. And you can see as the radicals in the Democrat Party, what they're doing right now is trying to destroy the American way. This country was founded on Christian values, and our Constitution was based, and our Declaration of Independence was based on Christian values. This is a Christian, Judeo-Christian nation. We were based on Christian values. Ms. Omar and her colleague refused to be sworn in on the Bible, which is a common practice in our nation for its Congress people. They wanted to be sworn in using the Quran. And as far as I understand what I believe, I don't believe they were ever really sworn in, because this is a Christian-based nation. If they were sworn in on the Quran, then to me they weren't sworn in. This is not a Muslim nation. We have Muslim Americans and different Chinese Americans, African Americans, all kinds of people from different countries who have become American citizens. But when they become American citizens, I'm sure they're made aware that this has been a Christian nation from the very start, and it's based on Christian values. You can see from the left and its anarchist behavior in Portland and different other areas how they're making a direct attack on Christianity. Even in California, where they're trying to restrict people from worshiping God inside of their church. You can't sing. You can go to a bar, to a club and sing whatever, dance around. You could go do anything else, but you can't go to church. So the American Center for Law and Justice took that one into court. I do not know whether it's been resolved or not, but these are the kind of things we face when we place these people in office who want to impose their values and their religion on a Christian-based nation. I'm not saying everybody else is Christian, but as far as our Constitution and everything else, it is based upon Christian values. And Christian words are in the Constitution. Some of the stuff is directly from Scripture. Anyway, moving on. Senator Mitt Romney announces support for holding a vote for President Trump's Supreme Court nominee. Senator Mitt Romney, Republican from Utah, announced he will back a vote on President Trump's Supreme Court nominee. He released a statement on Tuesday in which he confirmed that if the nominee reaches the Senate floor, he intends to vote based upon their qualification. The Utah Republican noted that historically, an election year nomination is for the Senate to confirm if they are made by a president of the same party. Romney spoke to reporters on Capitol Hill and pointed out this was not the case back in 2016. At this stage, I think it's appropriate to look at the Constitution, to look at the precedent which has existed since the beginning of this country, he stated. And in circumstance where a nominee of a president is from a different party than the Senate, then more often than not, the Senate does not confirm. So the Garland decision was consistent with that. Well, we're going to take a short break right now. We'll be right back with you here on A Black Conservative Voice with David Colbert.
Dr. Melinda Morris supports a strong economy, safe neighborhoods, limited property taxes, and promotes an improved education system. Dr. Melinda Morris wants to improve access and insurance coverage for medical care. Dr. Morris is pro-life and will support right-to-life legislation in Austin. Dr. Morris will remain true to her values when she is elected to office. She is going to Austin to promote life, prosperity, and personal freedom for the constituents of Senate District 13.
To every single mother, every small business owner, every farmer, every cancer survivor, and every woman out there who has ever been put down by the establishment, it's time to stand up. On November 3rd, we need you to write in Ola Hawatma on the ballot under New York 19th Congressional. Make history in the New York 19th District with the first woman to win by a write-in. Don't just vote. Make history on November 3rd, 2020. Write in Ola Hawatma.
Welcome back. You're watching The Black Conservative Voice with David Colbert here on the CTM News Network, the voice of truth. Romney was considered a potential GOP defection on holding a vote, but his announcement appears to guarantee the president's nominee will be received a full vote on the Senate floor. I will be announcing a Supreme Court nominee on Saturday, the president said at the White House. He does not know the exact time yet to be announced. Meanwhile, White House Chief of Staff Mark Meadows confirmed the president will announce his Supreme Court pick this Saturday. In an interview Tuesday, he said that the White House and the Republicans have not made a decision yet on the timetable for the confirmation process. However, Meadows said senators are engaged and ready to get to work on the president's pick. He also noted he's confident that the president's nominee would have enough votes to be confirmed either before the election or shortly after. Senator Graham says he will lead the charge of justice for the nomination of the justice. Senator Lindsey Graham, Republican from South Carolina, is standing by his recent calls for Republicans to confirm President Trump's next nominee to the Supreme Court before the November election. Of course, this will give the conservative party, the Republican Party, an advantage in the Supreme Court makeup. But this is not something that they staged. It wasn't us that ended Justice Ginsburg's life, but according to constitutional amendments and those things within the Constitution, the president has the right to replace someone for that seat. In an interview Monday, the senator said the law mandates that the president nominate a justice for the Senate to confirm whenever a new vacancy appears on the Supreme Court. In the past, Graham was criticized for opposing judicial nominations during the election year. He confirmed that back in 2016, he was opposed to nominating a new justice in the election year. However, the senator said that precedent no longer applies after the Democrats attempted to derail Brett Kavanaugh's confirmation back in 2018. Graham noted Democrats have one set of rules for Democrat nominees and a different one for Republican nominees. The senator went on to say, this Democrat double standard allows Republicans to break from an earlier precedent and appoint a new justice this year. He goes on to say, I will be leading the charge to make sure that President Trump's nominee has a hearing. He goes to the floor of the United States Senate for a vote because that is my job, he stated. And I believe I'm doing what the people of South Carolina want me to do in this regard. As chairman of the Senate Committee on Judiciary, Graham is projected to be in charge of leading the confirmation hearings for whoever is nominated, where he is well within his constitutional right just as well as the president is. So let's get this fact out of the way. 29 presidents have appointed or nominated a Supreme Court justice to fill a vacancy for out of the last 45, and each one took it to the Senate. Not everyone passed, but each one of those presidents, the vote was taken to the Senate floor during an election year. So what the Democrats are trying to say about President Trump and all this garbage, it's nothing unusual. The president is doing what many presidents have done in the past. So the precedent has been set, and we're going to move forward to nominate a new justice for the Supreme Court, preferably a conservative justice, and that is what we're aiming for. Well, my name is David Colbert. You're watching the Black Conservative Voice, and we'll be right back with you in a moment.
Hunter Biden joined the board of a corrupt Ukrainian energy company for over $80,000 a month while Joe Biden was vice president. In China, Hunter joined the board of a private equity company funded by the state-controlled Bank of China. In Romania, Hunter Biden represented a businessman convicted of massive corruption. The question is not why Hunter Biden used his name to get these gigs. It's why Joe Biden let him do it.
I'm Donald J. Trump, and I approve this message.
Welcome back. You're watching the Black Conservative Voice with David Colbert here on the CTM News Network, the voice of truth. Trump and Biden set the clash on Supreme Court and 5 other topics in the first debate. According to Reuters, President Donald J. Trump and Democrat rival Joe Biden will spar for 90 minutes over the Supreme Court, the coronavirus, voting integrity, and race and violence in our cities. Organizers of the first head-to-head election debate said on Tuesday, Trump and Biden will address each of those 4 topics on September 29th, as well as discuss the economy and their track records in 6 segments scheduled to last 15 minutes apiece. The Commission on Presidential Debates said in a statement, "This will be the first debate in a presidential campaign season upended by a pandemic that has complicated plans to hold in-person voting, killed more than 200,000 people, 200,000 Americans, and thrown millions out of work." As I would like to say, the CDC said that 90% of those deaths had other extenuating circumstances in those deaths, and only 10% were directly affected through the actual just coronavirus by themselves. Meanwhile, the Supreme Court vacancy created by the death on Friday of Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg has rapidly become a major campaign focus, with the prospect of a 6-3 conservative majority galvanizing voters in both parties. Topics were selected by the debate's moderator, Fox News anchor Chris Wallace, who I am not very fond of. To me, he's one of the most liberal ones. I believe they need to get rid of Chris Wallace and Mr. Wan from the Fox 5, or the 5 Friends, whatever you want to call them. The matchup will be the candidates' first in-person debate. Early voting is already underway in several states ahead of November 3rd election. The format is intended to encourage deep discussion of the leading issues facing the country. The debate organizers said adding the subjects could change as news develops. Now, we have Joe Biden up there. I encourage the media and everybody, look and see if you see an earpiece in Joe Biden's ear. Because I am saying that they're going to be feeding him answers to questions that are stated. And I bet they're going to require teleprompters, because he doesn't know, most of the time he doesn't even know where he's at. So I don't know how he's going to debate unless they, like President Trump made a joke recently in one of his rallies. He spoke about former Vice President Joe Biden receiving a shot in his backside to get him geared up to go forward and to say whatever he needs to say to fire him up. I don't know if that's the case, but in some ways it almost seems that way, because it looks like sometimes he's like half asleep or half out of it, and other times he's up, he's ready to go. And so that's kind of what might be happening. Anyway, we're going to take a short break right now, and we'll be right back at you in a moment here on a Black Conservative Voice with David Colbert.
To every single mother, every small business owner, every farmer, every cancer survivor, and every woman out there who has ever been put down by the establishment, it's time to stand up. On November 3rd, we need you to write in Ola Hawatma on the ballot under New York 19th Congressional. Make history in the New York 19th District with the first woman to win by a write-in. Don't just vote. Make history on November 3rd, 2020. Write in Ola Hawatma.
Hunter Biden joined the board of a corrupt Ukrainian energy company for over $80,000 a month while Joe Biden was vice president. In China, Hunter joined the board of a private equity company funded by the state-controlled Bank of China. In Romania, Hunter Biden represented a businessman convicted of massive corruption. The question is not why Hunter Biden used his name to get these gigs. It's why Joe Biden let him do it.
I'm Donald J. Trump, and I approve this message.
Dr. Melinda Morris supports a strong economy, safe neighborhoods, limited property taxes, and promotes an improved education system. Dr. Melinda Morris wants to improve access and insurance coverage for medical care. Dr. Morris is pro-life and will support right-to-life legislation in Austin. Dr. Morris will remain true to her values when she is elected to office. She is going to Austin to promote life, prosperity, and personal freedom for the constituents of Senate District 13.
Welcome back. You're watching the Black Conservative Voice with David Colbert here on the CTM News Network, the voice of truth. Well, we have opportunities here. If you have a small business, if you have a campaign that you would like to advertise on, we have advertising spots here on the program. As we take our breaks and commercials, there are spots that are available. We have other programs on our network, and you can advertise with those programs. Just contact us. Let us know where you heard about our advertising campaign. If you heard about it through this show, let us know. And we will send out a package to you so that you can become a part of this program and also receive very, very good rates for advertising with us. Well, once again, Trump and Biden will have a limited audience in person due to the pandemic, which whatever, are expected to draw millions of viewers to watch commercial-free on television. Case Western Reserve University and Cleveland Clinic are hosting the debate on their shared campus in Cleveland, Ohio. Trump and Biden are due to debate twice more on October 15th and October 22nd. Now, I'm not aware of the vice presidential debates, but as soon as we find out about that, we'll speak a little bit about that. Well, I want to thank you for joining us here on the Black Conservative Voice. We're here to serve you, to give you the news in a conservative view. My name is David Colbert, and I'm very, very conservative. I also am pro-life, and I've spoken earlier that the only reason I call this program the Black Conservative Voice is because there are many who assume that blacks are not conservative. But I've been a conservative all of my life. I started out in the Democrat Party, but because of their failed programs, the things where they say, we're going to do this, we're going to do that. I am a former resident of Baltimore, Maryland, which is the city where Kimberly Klacik is running for the congressional seat there in the, I believe it's, I'm not even going to attempt to find out, to say what that is. I think it's the Maryland 7th District. I'm not absolutely sure. I don't have the paper in front of me, but I believe it's Maryland 7th District. And I'm hoping to get Kimberly back on once again before the election. Well, once again, I thank you for joining me here on the Black Conservative Voice. My name is David Colbert, and I'm going to say what I always like to say. God bless you, God bless America, and God bless the world. Until next time, this is David Colbert on the CTM News Network saying to you, good night and God bless.
Do you care about Black lives? I do. And unlike the people that currently run Baltimore, I actually have a plan to make life better for Black people here. Walk with me. I want you to see this. I'm Kim Klacik. This is Baltimore, the real Baltimore. This city was once among the most prosperous, populated, and powerful cities in America. So what happened? Our leaders abandoned us and Baltimore fell into ruin. But it doesn't have to be this way. None of this has to be this way. A broken Baltimore does not have to be our future. And that's why I'm running for Congress, because I see the city differently.
I walk the streets of Baltimore and see what could be. I want you to see what I see. I see Baltimore that picks up trash. There are piles of garbage all around Baltimore. It makes life unsafe for our families. I'll work with city leaders to get Baltimore's Solid Waste Bureau the resources it needs to take out the trash.
Our streets should be a reflection of our leaders. Clean, not dirty.
Much of our trash gathers in abandoned homes. There are over 17,000 abandoned buildings in Baltimore. They are a scar on the face of our city.
I will support tax credits and incentive programs to give residents a chance to buy and rehabilitate these homes. Everyone deserves a safe community and a chance at home ownership. Let's put the charm back in Charm City.
Who will live in these homes? the newly employed constituents of Baltimore City. This district needs more jobs. The best way to get them is by having businesses invest in our community. The Tax Cuts and Jobs Act gives federal tax incentive to drive private investment into opportunity zones just like Baltimore. Who will work in all of these new jobs if we don't have an educated workforce? 9 out of 10 black boys in Baltimore are not reading at grade level. Over a dozen high schools in Baltimore have zero, yes, zero, students proficient in math. This is a tragedy. We can end the school-to-prison pipeline with school choice, providing parents with options to escape schools that do not serve our children.
Let's make Baltimore better for our kids. Isn't that the point? That's my vision for Baltimore. The corrupt leaders hate it. They attack me for taking a stand, for wanting better for our people, our children, our communities. But I'm not the only one who wants better.
Tens of millions of you have shared the struggle of black people in Baltimore. You lifted our voices. You cared about our black lives more than our own Democrat leaders. They have done nothing for us. Now they can't hide. It's time for change. We are that change.
I'm Kim Klacik, and I'm running for Congress because I actually care about black lives. All black lives matter. Our communities matter. We matter. And Baltimore doesn't have to vote Democrat.